Aquarius, this is your love tarot reading for Valentine's Day. It isn't time specific, but as I only do these once a year, maybe it lasts a year, I'm not sure, but it's not time specific anyway. I get the impression you're trapped in a relationship, feeling trapped in a relationship, and it could be because you're monetarily dependent on that relationship in some way. Let us look at each card individually, however. We have the Five of Swords, which is a card of conflict, a card of winning at all costs. Maybe a card of deception. You look at this particular card, and he seems to be selling that sword to that lady, whilst that man, her accomplice, seems to be stealing a card. So maybe there is deception. This probably is in the past, but I think you're still suffering from it. I think it's a relationship that you're in, and the relationship has turned sour because there is this winning at all costs attitude, there's this deception attitude to it. It doesn't feel like a healthy relationship. I'm not certain that it's irreconcilable, but I think you feel that way. But you've got dragged into sniping at each other, at just trying to win, trying to win at all times, and it's wearing you out, I think. And now we have the Eight of Swords, which is self-imposed restrictions. I think you feel you can't move out of this relationship. It could be that the relationship's ended and you're just not dumping the baggage, but I more get the impression you're in a relationship and you can't move out of it. And if you look at the card, well, she's blindfolded. She doesn't really have the information. Now, I know this is sounding, particularly if it's happening to you right now, you're probably shouting, how would you know, Well, I lived in a relationship like this for over 20 years, I thought I was doing the right thing because of, at least she claimed that I had a child with her. Well, there was a child, I'm just not certain he was mine. And I thought I was doing the right thing, and I couldn't move on from it, and I think that's how you're feeling trapped. But it does feel like a very unhealthy relationship, and you need to remove this blindfold. What the universe is saying to you, that what you need to do and what will happen in the future is you need to manifest change, because we have the Page of Pentacles here, which normally is about money, which makes me think that maybe the reason you feel trapped is to do with money. You're dependent on this person for money, or at least you're dependent on splitting the bills, and it would be unthinkable to try and do it by yourself. So you need to find a new way of getting money, and this is often about manifesting. It doesn't necessarily work, but given that this comes from the universe, it's suggesting to me that it will work. So I think you're being told you need to move on. That's my candid feeling, but let me get some clarification on this. So I'm going to get some clarification on this probably manifesting money card. And clarification we get is the Six of Pentacles, and this Six of Pentacles is a card of charity. Very interesting. So the card of clarification is the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of charity. So if you remember, it's clarifying you manifesting money. And very often when you manifest money, it doesn't come from the source that you're expecting it to. You're manifesting a change in your life, and I think you're going to get this change, and it's going to come from a most unlikely source, possibly even someone being charitable to you. And maybe you will find that family and friends rally by you when you take the decision to move on and help you out. So what was the unthinkable becomes possible. So I think there's a very clear steer to get out of this relationship. It's not a healthy relationship. It's not doing you any good. And the universe wants you to move on. Aquarius, you are either in or are in a very unhealthy relationship. A relationship where you're sniping at each other, attempting to win at all costs, deceiving each other, but you don't feel able to move on. I think because of money. Maybe you're dependent on this person, or maybe you're just sharing the bills, but you don't feel able to move on. But you can't really see the picture because you're so wrapped up in it all. And the universe wants you to move on. It wants you to move on by manifesting money. So it would seem as though money is the issue. And perhaps you can't see where the money would come from. But I think when you do choose to move on, it'll come from a most unusual source. And maybe family and friends rally behind you and say it's the right thing to do, and they give you some money.